Hey guys, so have you ever been confused on what protein shake is best for you, if you're wasting your money, if it has the right balance based on your goals? Well, today, hopefully I'm going to shed some light on that topic. We're actually going to talk about 5 different shakes for after your workout and 5 different bars that you can use either after workout or in place of a meal. So we've got several criteria that we're going to talk about. If you're watching today, you have to watch live to have a chance to win one of the prizes. So you got to comment, you got to like, you got to share. So make sure that you're doing that as you're watching along. All right. So this is for people that are looking to build some lean muscle and lose weight. We are not talking about products to help with sports performance. All right, because they need different things in them. All right. So we have some criteria. So I'm going to bring my lovely assistant, Miss Catherine, in. Say hi to everyone. Hi, world. Hi, Facebook Live. All right, so we have several different criteria that we're going to look at for each one. And we're going to start with the shakes. And I tried to pick some ones that we actually either recommend or I hear a lot of people talk about. Like, hey, I use this. Is this good for me? If you have something that's not up here, take a picture of the nutrition and the ingredients, and we can give you some feedback later on whether or not that's an appropriate thing. All right, so here's how this is going to work. We have 5 criteria for each product. Okay, if it meets a criteria, Catherine is going to give it a check mark. All right, so whichever one of these has the most check marks is going to be the winner, or what we're going to recommend as the best option for you. Okay, so number 1, if you're looking, this is post-workout as a standalone. All right, you got to have a minimum of 10 grams of carbs. Right, a lot of people are like, I thought you said we could have up to 30 carbs. You can, but you have to have at least 10 carbs to take the protein and get it to your muscles in the right amount of time. So if it doesn't have at least 10 grams of protein, of carbs, it doesn't qualify. It has to have a minimum of 10, no more than 30, and at least 10 grams of protein. All right, it can have more than that, of course, but it has to have that number. So this first product, this is the Advocare Fit line. It's their protein shake. We actually carry it here at the gym, and I don't know exactly how this is going to turn out yet. Neither one of us do. All right, so we have our criteria. Might not be the Advocare, might be something else. All right, so but if you have something that you like, make sure you post that so that we'll know to look at it for you. So up first, does the Advocare Fit have the balance of carbs and protein? It has 11 carbs, 20 grams of protein. So it gets a check mark, right? Remember, the carbs take the protein and get it to the muscles in the right amount of time.
A big check.
It gets a big check. All right, so next we're moving to the Premier Protein. Okay, this is another one that a lot of our clients, we actually recommend it. We talk about it a lot with our clients. So is it going to have the right balance? 4 carbs, 30 protein. So it does not, all right? So that's confusing, right? This is actually a product that we talk a little bit about. It doesn't have enough carbs to get the protein where it needs to be. It sounds great because it's got 30 grams of protein. People think that's the only thing that you need. Post-workout, you gotta have both. So it gets no check. All right, so next up is this EAS whey protein, all right? 7 carbs, 30 grams of protein. So it doesn't meet the criteria, not enough carbs. All right, so this is a new one that I've actually just stumbled across as I was looking for some stuff. Kathy told me they have it at Sam's Club. We'll see how it stacks up. It's called Orgain. Okay, it's a little bit more natural, right? This one, 10 carbs, 20 grams of protein. Check.
Those actually taste really good too.
She says they taste good. That's important, right? Got to meet the criteria first, but also we want it to taste good. So here's another one. People ask me all the time, is chocolate milk something? Well, this is chocolate milk with added protein. So we're going to see how this stacks up. This is called True Move. All right? 31 carbs, 14 grams of protein.
31 carbs.
So it's just over the carbohydrates that are recommended if you're looking to lose weight and build some lean muscle. So we're not going to give it a check mark. Okay? All right, next criteria are, does it have less than 10 grams of sugar in it? Evil sugar. Sugar is the devil. All right? The Advocare has 7. So it gets a check mark. Premier Protein. Remember, if you're watching and there's one on here, maybe you have one of these. Tell us that you have it. That's how you have a chance to win. We're going to give away a goodie bag of prizes of the ones that are the very best products that our research tells us.
You could give them to me too if you want.
You can give them to Kathy if you win, but make sure you're commenting, liking, sharing, all right? The Premier Protein, 7 grams of protein, of sugar.
7.
So it meets the criteria, it gets a check mark.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, the Mileplex, 1 gram of sugar. Meets the criteria. That surprised me a little bit. I thought I was going to have more than that.
I would have thought that too.
All right, the Orgain, 4 grams of sugar. Okay, pretty good. I'm impressed. True Moon, 29 grams of sugar. It should get like a frowny face. No thing, yeah. So, and this is also deceiving. This is 2 servings. So if you drink this whole thing after a workout, that's almost 60 grams of sugar. All right. So now, next criteria: sugar alcohol. All right. I don't remember there being a lot in the drinks, but you find a lot in bars. We'll talk about that in a minute. But sugar alcohol is not good for you. All right. The only reason they don't have to list it as regular sugar is it doesn't affect your insulin levels the same as like for a diabetic. So the only reason they don't have to list it as sugar, it can also upset your stomach, it can constipate you. So you don't want to have something that has like low sugar but a whole bunch of sugar alcohol. That's how they can make it taste good. All right. So the Fit from Advocare, no sugar alcohol, gets another check mark. Premier Protein, no sugar alcohol, gets a check mark. EAS, no sugar alcohol.
You're kidding.
I know, I'm surprised.
I thought
So 1 gram of sugar, no sugar alcohol, that one's a shocker. The Orgain, no sugar alcohol. Man, these are on fire. True Mood, no sugar alcohol. It gets its first check mark. All right. All right. The Fit. So the next one is sodium, right? How much sodium is in there? That's another way that they can make it more palatable, something that you actually will like, but you don't want a bunch of sodium. All right. That's one of those things that can do a lot of bad things, make you cramp, make you feel bloated, so you want to keep that to a minimum, all right? So the criteria was 250 milligrams of sodium or less, all right? So Advocare came in right at the number 250, so it gets a check mark.
Okay.
Premier Protein,
Keep the number there.
just squeaked it, came right in at the number,
Why?
all right? So, and that's less than 20% of your daily allowance, all right? So Premier Protein, 240, gets a check mark. EAS, 390. So see what they did there, right? There's hardly any sugar. There's no sugar alcohol. Well, how does it taste so good?
From the soda.
They're flavoring it with the sodium. So it does not get a check mark. All right, the Orgain, 240, gets a check mark. True Mood, 240, gets a check mark. True Mood's on fire now. It's got 2 in a row. All right, the last criteria is what type of protein is in it. When you're looking at drinks, milk protein is usually the thing you're going to find, right? It's perfectly fine for it to be milk protein. We do not want it to be whey protein concentrate. That's a cheaper version of protein, all right? So when you look at the ingredients, you want to look at the back, and I'm going to bring this thing in real close. Hopefully I'll zoom it in the right
See if I can
spot.
focus it.
Can you see it? Down, up,
No.
way back,
Come way closer.
way closer.
Way closer. There we go.
All right, you see me right here?
Yep.
All right, the ingredients, whatever's listed first is what's the heaviest or most of the product. So if something's listed down here, there's not very much in this product. If it's listed first, it means it's the heaviest thing that's in here, okay? So we want to make sure that the milk protein is listed first or second, all right? Then we know it's a high quality protein. So let's check it out here. All right, for the Advocare Fit, it's the second ingredient, meaning it's a very high quality protein, gets a check mark. All right, Premier Protein, it's the second thing listed as well, it gets a check mark. So there's some pretty good, these are some pretty good products, right? Mileplex, it's the first protein listed,
So he gets a check.
it gets a check. The Orgain, it's the second thing listed. And the True Moo, is it a milk protein? Duh, it's milk, right? So yes, it's the first thing listed. All right, so what I would like for us to do is to take a look at this. Let's get a running total, and we want to see if we have any ties, and we've got something that's going to be our tiebreaker. So Advocare Fit met all 5 criteria. Premier Protein met 4. Mileplex 3. Orgain 5. True Moo, 3. So really, 3 of these are really good choices, right? But we had a tie between Orgain and Advocare Fit, right? As a post-workout, standalone, all by itself, does it give you the balance that you need? All right, so what would we decide was going to be our tiebreaker?
I forget, but I think between these two, this one had a little bit more carbs. Oh no, this one did. Oh, they're about equal.
They're about the same. Oh, I know what it was. Fewest ingredients.
That's right.
Fewest ingredients, all right? So, we already looked at this because we anticipated these two might be pretty close. This one is going to be our winner. So this Orgain. So I found this at Sprouts. Kathy said you can also get this at Sam's Club, right? And buy a box of
They
these.
have cases of it. That's
Yes, this might be something that we start carrying here at the studio because this looks like a very good quality type of protein. It was a tie, but this one had about half the amount of ingredients as this one. And we bring that up because these things are meant to be added, right? Like on your way out the door, grab a protein shake. You're out running errands, you grab a bar or a shake. Go to Whole Foods first, right? So you can say, none of them are perfect.
Not the store.
No, not the store Whole Foods. Thank you.
That's
No.
not far.
Eat Whole Foods. They're going to have more nutrients. They're going to have less of the things we talked about, like sugar, alcohol, and sodium, things that are tricky, right? So yes, we do recommend these for people. Yes, you do need them in today's busy lifestyle, but make sure that you limit the number of those, all right? So those are our shakes. So our grand prize winner is the Orgain. Runner-up was the Advocare Fit, all right? So remember, make sure you're commenting, liking, sharing, telling us that you're watching, all right? That's how we're going to give away prizes. When we turn this off, we're going to see who commented, and then we'll have a drawing to give away a goodie bag of the very best products, all right?
There's a few people asking about products we don't have up here, so maybe just send us those or base it off of what we just taught you, or send us a picture of the product and we can see how it rates. With
And if you do that, because I think it was yesterday when I posted we were going to do this, people were asking. There was several.
There's a lot of them.
We want, and honestly, they've gotten better. 5 or 6 years ago, the choices were terrible. But send us the nutritional box, right? Everybody has to have some kind of little box with the nutrition and the ingredients, right? Because you can see we're looking at more than just calories, protein, carbs. We're looking at a lot of things, all right? So let's move on to our bars. Are you ready? All right, so.
I want to know which one's the best.
Yeah, I'm curious to see here as well, right? So like I said, we didn't like predetermine this, right? I didn't pick bars or things so that Advocare would win. I really wanted to see how do all these things stack up against each other. All right, so the first one up is our Advocare Meal Bar, okay? So this one actually follows the same criteria as far as the carbs and the protein. Have a minimum of 10, no more than 30 on the carbs. Does it have at least 10 on the protein? Can go all the way up to like 50, right? Which hardly anybody's gonna have that much. So does it meet that criteria? 28 carbs, 16 grams of protein, it gets a check mark. All right, the next one up is the RX bars. All right, this is actually my favorite. There's another one, it's chocolate, coconut, something or another. It's good too. Sea salt, coconuts, but this is my favorite flavor. All right, does it meet the criteria? 24 carbs, 12 grams of protein. Meets the criteria, right? It's going to get the protein into your muscles in the right amount of time. Quest bar. All right, so I'm going to hold this one up so you can see it. Okay, this one has 22 carbs, 21 grams of protein. Meets the criteria, right? It's got enough carbs to get it there. It's got enough protein to help your muscles recover, help you burn more fat. All right, next up, Larabar. Okay, we're going to find out if it meets the criteria. 25 carbs, 4 grams of protein. Not even close. This is not a meal. It's not going to help you recover after your workouts. Like we probably don't even need to look at the rest of these. Even though there are actually some good ingredients in here, it's not going to help your muscles recover. It's not going to help you burn fat. All right, so no check mark for Larabar. Sorry, Larabar. Sorry. Hopefully one of their people aren't watching our video, but all right, next up, Cliff Bar. I hear people talk about this all the time because these taste unbelievable.
They have them everywhere.
They have them everywhere. They're mainstream. These were made for endurance athletes. So I can tell you, it's probably not going to meet a lot of the criteria. I will tell you, I've used them many times, including when I was on the Appalachian Trail. I had one of these, and this is the flavor that I got. You can see
you're
that.
hiking 50 miles, it's probably okay.
That's right. If you're hiking, you know, for 8 hours a day, this is probably okay. But remember, we're talking about weight loss, building lean muscle, 42 carbs, 9 grams of protein.
No.
No check mark. Sorry, Cliff. All right. Next criteria for this one, same one with the sugar. Does it have 10 grams of sugar or less? The Advocare bar, 3 grams. It's a check mark. The RX bar, 15 grams. No check mark. No check mark. The Quest bar, 1 gram. It's a check mark.
Just a side note, does it matter what kind of sugar it is or no?
Yes. Great point. So, the 15, and we're going to circle back around to that.
Okay.
But this RX bar has 15 grams of sugar. You're like, well, that's over. What kind of sugars are they?
Yeah.
All right, and we'll talk about that in a minute. It's going to be something we discuss in a minute. All right, the Lara bar.
Getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, you are. Don't be stealing my thunder.
Sorry.
This is my show.
There's a legitimate question.
Lara bar, 18 grams of sugar. There are some good things in it, okay, but when you're trying to lose weight and build lean muscle, that's too much.
Wait. Lara bar?
Lara bar is
Did you
18,
skip
so no
one?
check mark. Oh, Quest bar.
Oh, because I checked it by accident.
You check it. No, we had it.
Wait,
All right.
okay.
I'm looking.
Sorry.
All right, Cliff bar. You can probably guess. 21 grams of sugar.
Oof.
No check mark. All right.
Let's just forget about these.
Next criteria. So then, remember I mentioned you find sugar alcohol a lot more in bars, right? It's the thing they tend to add less than shakes. So let's find out, all right? The Advocare bar, no sugar alcohol, gets a check mark. It's only 3 grams of sugar and no sugar alcohol. The RX bar, no sugar alcohol, gets a check. Quest bar, wah, wah. It's got sugar alcohol, right? That's how they, remember it only had 1 gram of sugar, but now it's got sugar alcohol. So they're deceiving you into thinking it doesn't have sugar in it when in fact it really does. Okay, and it's actually the worst kind of sugar alcohol. There are different levels. No check mark. Lara bar, no sugar alcohol. Gets a check. Cliff bar, sugar alcohol. Not doing so good, is it? Can y'all see that?
Yeah, Cliff is.
It's made for endurance athletes. All right, it's not made to help you lose weight and build lean muscle. All right, next criteria. Same one with sodium. 250 milligrams or less. The Advocare bar, 150, gets a check mark. The RX bar, 115, gets a check mark. The Quest bar, 210, gets a check mark. Lara bar, only 10, so really good on sodium. Cliff bar, 220, he gets his first check mark. Yay, Cliff. All right, last criteria. This one is a little bit different. When we talk about the shakes, we want it to be milk protein. The bars, the main thing you're looking for is whey protein isolate. Okay, and that's how you spell it. If it does not have this in its ingredients somewhere, do not buy that bar. It means the protein is very low grade and you're probably just it's gonna go into the toilet. Literally and figuratively.
Just wasting your money.
All right, so remember, if you're watching live right now, make sure you comment, you like, you share. That's how you have a chance to win a prize, a goodie bag of the ones that we determine are the very best. All right, so Advocare, does it have the best protein in it? Whey isolate, yes, check mark. RX bars, yes, gets a check mark. Quest bars, yes, gets another check mark. Lara bar, no. So the tiny little bit of protein it has isn't even the good kind of protein, okay? Cliff bar, no. It's also the cheaper kind of protein. All right, so we're gonna have tie, no tie. So 4 for RX, 4 for Quest, 2 for Lara, 1 for Cliff. Poor Cliff. So he gets the sad face. So you can see these are some pretty decent options. All right, here's what I'll tell you on personal experience with these. Had there been a tie between these two, I would probably tell you to get the RX bar for the same reason. It has like 3 to 6 ingredients, so a lot more natural. Right now, as far as losing weight, helping build lean muscle, Advocare actually is a little bit better bar in my opinion. This would be the very next best option. They have lots of flavors. All right, Quest bar, we get this one a lot. So it actually met a lot of the criteria. it has a lot of that sugar alcohol in it. And just based on personal experience, it can mess with your stomach. So this is definitely not one that I would recommend. All right, so we are going to actually, if you'll go around, let's check to see if there's some comments.
Okay.
So if you have a question, something that maybe we can answer here real quick. We've got a couple more minutes on this live call. If there's a shake that you're using, that you know the breakdown, if you have one of these, remember the drawing is for everybody who watches live. Question?
Scott Murray, who's one of our lovely
Yeah, hey
clients.
buddy.
He has a nut allergy. What bars would you recommend if you have a nut allergy?
That's a tricky one. Definitely not the RX bars. All of the RX bars have that, and it's part of their protein source. You know what? That's a great question. Let me do a little research for Scott. So we'll find one that's best for you. Any other questions on there?
Let's see.
So remember, make sure you're commenting, make sure you're liking and sharing this, right? That's how you have a chance to win that goodie bag.
Susan Patton said she's been using the Orgain in the powder form, which is also good and tastes very good.
Okay, awesome, Susan. Thank you for sharing
Cindy
that.
Spacel wants to know what name is sugar alcohol listed under.
There's like 37 different names. All right. Sometimes they actually will list it for you as sugar alcohol. Another one is, I think it's pronounced Irletal, right? That's the bad one. If you see something that says other sugars, it's sugar alcohol. That's the easiest way to understand that, Cindy.
Okay, here's a great question, which we actually talked about before we started.
Okay.
Amy Tucker says, can I drink the Premier Protein and add fruit to it
Yes.
to bring the carbohydrates
Yes,
up?
so Catherine and I talked about this beforehand because we were talking about these as standalone products. Do they give you what you need? Amy, that's a great question. If you just add a small piece of fruit, right, and that would give you that perfect balance because, again, Premier Protein has a lot of good things going for it, just didn't have enough carbs. You add a little carbs, perfect. All right, other questions?
Mike Brown wants to know more about the sugars in the RX bar.
All right, so the sugars that are in the RX bars are actually similar. They're actually very similar. They're basically dates and things, honey and things like that. So they're actually very natural sugars. So obviously they're better for you
Versus processed sugar.
That's right. They're certainly a lot better for you. It's why I was saying, even though this has 15 grams of sugar, probably not a bad thing because it's basically fruit that's in there. It's like dried fruit that's going into it. So yeah, great question. But you do have to look at that, all right? And you got to figure out. So it's confusing because people just look at the nutrition, right? How many carbs, how many protein? You also got to look at the ingredients. What are those carbohydrates? What kind of protein is in there? What kind of balance does it have? So that's why we're doing this. It's a learning process. All right. Any other questions?
No questions. The last comment we've got is Cheryl Hanna says that the Premier Protein is a good replacement for coffee creamer.
Premier Protein as a coffee creamer.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay. Well, I like my coffee black, so I don't know, but that's a great tip. A way to add some protein into your coffee and avoid the bad stuff. I think that's certainly something that we can try. All right, so the main thing, make sure that you comment, you like, you share real quick. We're getting ready to get off here. When we turn this off, whoever's commented, liked, shared, said, hey, I was here, I was watching, that's who's going to have a chance to win the prize. If you watch it later or you want to ask us a question about your favorite product, you can do that. Okay, we'll be answering these the rest of the day.
There's a few questions on different bars that we didn't cover, like the Premier Protein bar.
Yep. Their Premier Protein
Pro-Max
bar is almost identical to their shake, right? So it's probably going to be, it would probably be in our top 3 or 4, and I've used Premier Protein bars quite a bit. I would say it's a pretty safe bet. Remember, we're trying to limit the number of times we use these things every day. It's like once a day, not twice, preferably none if you can get it the other way. But yeah, Premier Protein bar would be a good one. Is there another specific one on there? We're almost out of time here. Make sure you comment, like, or share it.
Someone asked about Pro-Max somewhere.
So Pro-Max, I would have to do a little bit more research, but if you can take a picture, you should be able to actually add that into the comments. Is the nutritional and the ingredients. Take a picture of that and we'll be able to give you a real quick feedback. I'm pretty sure it doesn't meet a lot of the criteria, but I would have to double check that. Any other questions?
Nope. Valerie Brady says, yay, my Premier is on the good list.
There was a bunch of people sweating bullets when I took that picture and showed that. And like I said, I tried to pick some stuff that we actually talk a lot about. There's a lot of other garbage out there. Stuff that's saying it's a protein bar, it's full of carbs, bad sugars, lots of fat in it. So you know you're safe if it's this. If you have a question about it, ask us, and that's what we're here for. Right? We're happy to help. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will have a drawing here in just a little bit. Thank you all. I hope this was helpful. If it was, give us a thumbs up, hit that like button, love button, share it with somebody. Thank you all.